Hi everyone, Ryan here with Fight Game Analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming fight between Cory Sandhagen and Frankie Edgar. If you've been enjoying the content, please go ahead and click on the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate your support. Alright, so big fight coming up here, 135 pounds, Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. Now, start off by taking a look at Cory Sandhagen here. Man, I'm really a big fan of this guy. First thing when I see him that comes to my mind, huge for the division, 5'11". That's big for 135 pounds. And the other thing that as soon as I turn the film on, that just immediately pops out to me is the footwork. You see this guy fight, and I immediately start to think about TJ Dillashaw. Now, I know he used to train with the former champ back in the day a little bit, so it doesn't surprise me that he would have picked up a few of the tricks of the trade, so to speak, or a few of the things that he does, because TJ Dillashaw's footwork and the way that he moves is pretty unique. So it's easy to see if another guy is using that. And Cory Sandhagen has shades of it. It's not like he's a mirror copy or anything like that, but he's got shades of it. And I love the way that he uses it. He's coming forward. He's able to switch stances, no problem at all. He's able to cut off the octagon, follow guys. He's quick, closes the distance when he wants to, catches different angles and moves in and out. Very, very good the way that he does it. Very educated footwork. He's got every strike in the book available to him. Comes in, he works the jab, works combinations that people aren't used to, going to the body and then cuts off on a good angle and lands a leg kick. I mean, it's nice. It really catches a lot of guys off guard. He was streaking all the way up until that Aljamain Sterling fight, but I mean, hey, what are you going to do? Aljo's a beast in his own right, and he just got caught. But when you look at his wins against Lineker, Asuncao, and Moraes, I mean, those are impressive. Those are three really impressive wins. And it's also the way in which he won them. He went out there and he dominated and fought his fight. Didn't dominate every second of the fight or anything like that, but he went out there and he did exactly what he wanted to do. And when he was fighting his fight, fighting the way that he wanted to, he was able to look really good in those spots. On the other side of the equation, we got Frankie Edgar. Now, Frankie Edgar has been in the game for a long time, looked super impressive. I mean, I think all the way back about his 2 wars with Gray Maynard. Remember that first one, getting knocked all over the octagon for the first round? I mean, coming back, ends up getting the victory. Man, Frankie Edgar, his wins over BJ Penn. The fact that you see him now, at his age, and I'm sitting here handicapping a fight for him at 135 pounds, and this man used to hold the title at 155. And I remember when he was going on his run at 155, he's racking up these victories. He's looking impressive the whole time. All anybody could tell him was, "You're undersized for the division. You should move down to 145." Man, all he kept doing was winning. All he kept doing was proving everybody wrong. And he did it in a way that endeared him to a lot of people, and he picked up a lot of fans. I mean, when you think of Frankie Edgar, it is just all hard work, all heart. The man shows up every single time. He's got a very good work rate, cardio through the roof, comes in and out, works angles. He's able to land shots, works behind a jab. He's got the former wrestling background from college, mixes in the takedowns really well. He's got some very impressive ground and pound. Very impressive ground and pound. I mean, when he gets guys down, I mean, the most striking example of what he can do when he's in that top position on the ground was against Yair Rodriguez. I mean, he just went in there and whitewashed him, just blew him out. You don't see a lot of guys that can do that type of thing. But Frankie Edgar, I mean, he's different. We know he ends up losing the belt to 155, ends up moving down to 145. And again, he still works that same style. You think he's even a little bit faster. His cardio's still good. But, at 145, I mean, he ran into a buzzsaw in Max Holloway. And as impressive as Max Holloway looked in that win then, I mean, think about how much Max has even gotten better. I mean, Frankie had no shot there. He wasn't going to be able to come up with the victory. I mean, they could fight 100 times. He knew that he wasn't going to win that. So you started to think, I mean, what's going on with his career here? What's he going to do? He's not going to move back up to 155 and get the belt. He just ran into and got dominated by Max Holloway at 145. So, what's kind of next for him there? And you could tell that after that fight, in that interview, that he was kind of at a crossroads in his career. He wasn't really sure exactly what it was that he was going to be able to do. And he acknowledged that he was a little bit undersized for the division. And even though he was able to, fight through that and really look impressive in the past and come out with some stuff, and looked as though he was acknowledging that time may be past him. So, ends up getting KO'd by the Korean Zombie, right? So he had gotten knocked out by Brian Ortega, and then he gets knocked out, after his loss to Holloway, gets knocked out by the Korean Zombie. And then we see him switches to the next part in his career, drops all the way down to 135, goes out against Munoz and Pedro Munoz, and ends up getting the win. Okay, and he looked good when he did it, but is he a Frankie Edgar that looked as good as he used to in the past? And honestly, I have to say no. I think, he doesn't have the explosion that he used to have. He's not quite the takedown threat that he used to. His hands aren't quite as quick. Doesn't put together the combinations quite as much. And, when I think about him stepping in there against a guy like Sandhagen, I think it's going to be highlighted even more. So, when these two guys step in the octagon, I really don't think it's going to be that close. I think Sandhagen's going to get an impressive victory in this one. Would not be surprised if he gets, even though it's only 3 rounds, if he ends up getting a stoppage in this. I've been a Frankie Edgar fan for a long time, but I think he's going to really go into this one. He's going to be overmatched. I mean, it's not that much of a surprise. You see Vegas has the odds that Sandhagen's going off at about -400, which is a clear and dominant favorite, and I can see why. I think he's going to be much faster than Frankie Edgar. He's going to be able to work those angles. He's going to be able to get in and out when he wants. He's much longer, so he's going to be able to land shots when he wants to from places that Frankie Edgar won't be able to counter well. We saw how Frankie looked against Brian Ortega, and we saw how he looked against the Korean Zombie. He's there to be hit. There was a time when he was able to get out of the way of a lot more shots than he does now, but I think it's going to be the same thing with Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen's going to be able to get his shots off when he wants to get them off, and he's going to look good when he does it. So, where does Frankie Edgar go from this one? Oof, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Guy's been in the game for a long time. I'm a big fan of his, but style-wise, and we all know styles make fights. Style-wise, this is a bad matchup for him. So, let me know what you guys think. Sandhagen, is he going to come out there just like I'm saying he is, and he's going to come out there and absolutely dominate the situation and get a true legend on his resume in Frankie Edgar? Or is Frankie Edgar going to be able to turn back, the hands of time here and pull out an impressive victory and get a young guy on his resume? Let me know what you guys think.